Today, we are going back in time a little bit. We're diving deep into Jane Austen.
One of me's favorites.
I know, right? Persuasion.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow along, you can find a link to grab your own copy down in the show notes.
Definitely do. It's Austen's last completed novel, actually.
Right.
Published posthumously.
Okay.
And I think for a lot of fans, it's considered her most mature and emotionally resonant work.
So really quick before we get into it.
Yeah.
We're in England, 1817, world obsessed with social class.
Big time.
Women's options.
Especially financially.
Yeah, super limited.
Very brilliant.
Then we meet our protagonist.
Yes.
Anne Elliot.
Anne Elliot, late 20s, unmarried.
Oh, no.
Which back then
Ancient.
made you an object of pity and gossip.
Oh, my gosh.
She's so kind
I know.
and intelligent and constantly overshadowed by her family.
Yeah.
Austen really captures the subtle ways society can marginalize someone, even without being overtly cruel.
You really feel for her.
Yes.
Like reading it, you're just like,
Yes. You want to give her a hug?
oh, gosh, I know. And then there's the whole second chance romance at single.
Yeah.
8 years
Before the story begins.
Before our story begins,
Yeah.
Anne was deeply in love with Frederick Wentworth.
Yes.
A dashing naval officer.
Dashing.
But
But he had no money.
nobody.
Or social standing.
Right.
And, in a society where marriage is often seen as a financial transaction.
Huge obstacle.
That's a major obstacle.
Yeah.
So she was influenced by her family and a well-meaning but misguided friend to break off the engagement.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Talk about a decision that comes back to haunt you.
Right.
So years later, Captain Wentworth is back.
He's back.
But he's not the same young man.
No, he is not.
Now he's successful.
Very successful.
Wealthy.
Now he's a gentleman. The tables have turned. The tension is so palpable.
It's fascinating how Austen uses this setup to explore themes of social mobility
Right.
and the fluidity of class.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Wentworth's transformation raises questions like,
Yeah.
is his character truly changed by his success?
Or is wealth merely a mask?
Ooh.
Right.
And, of course, the biggest question of all,
The biggest question.
will they rekindle their romance?
Will societal pressures and past misunderstandings and maybe even some new suitors keep them apart?
I am hooked already.
I know, me too.
And if you are enjoying this deep dive so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review.
Yes, please do.
It really helps other bookworms find our cozy little podcast corner.
We appreciate it.
Okay, so I have to admit,
Yeah.
one of the sources we found compared Persuasion to a kung fu novel.
I know, I saw that too.
I know,
It
right?
sounds crazy.
But it's so true.
So explain this.
Okay, so think about it.
Okay.
There's all this underlying tension in Austen's work.
Right. The stakes are really high for these characters.
Yeah.
Social ruin is a constant threat.
Yeah,
And
especially back then.
especially back then,
Yeah.
words can be as cutting as any weapon.
So even though we're in this world of drawing rooms and polite society, there's a real sense of danger lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly.
Wow.
Austen is a master at conveying this unspoken violence through subtle language and social maneuvering.
Okay, so give me an example.
Like a raised eyebrow,
Oh.
a carefully chosen word,
Uh-huh.
strategic silence
Oh my gosh.
can have devastating consequences.
It's like she's choreographing a delicate dance of social warfare
Yes.
where the weapons are wit and
I
reputation.
love that.
That is so clever.
Brilliant.
It makes you appreciate Austen's brilliance on a whole new level.
Right.
And let's not forget, Austen's novels are so funny.
Oh, they're hilarious.
But it's not just lighthearted entertainment.
No.
Her wit is sharp,
Very sharp.
often satirical,
Oh!
and it reveals a deep understanding of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
She uses humor to expose the hypocrisy and absurdity of the society she depicts.
Yes.
Like, for example, Anne's hypochondriac sister Mary
Oh my gosh, Mary.
and her vain father Sir Walter.
Sir Walter.
They're absolutely hilarious.
They are.
But their flaws also highlight some of the more ridiculous aspects of their social class.
Absolutely. Austen has this incredible ability to create characters who are both entertaining and insightful.
Yeah.
They make us laugh, but they also make us think about the societal pressures and expectations that shape our behavior.
And it's not just about poking fun at the characters, right? There are some universal truths embedded in Austen's work that still resonate with us today.
Precisely themes like the pressure to conform, the struggle to balance personal happiness with societal obligations, the complexities of family relationships, and the lasting impact of past decisions are all explored in Persuasion.
It's amazing how a novel written over 200 years ago can still feel so relevant to our modern lives.
I know, it's crazy.
That's a testament to Austen's genius as a writer.
Definitely.
She had this uncanny ability to tap into the enduring truths of human nature and social dynamics, truths that transcend time and place.
For sure.
So what we have here is a story with high-stakes, witty social commentary and characters that are both hilarious and relatable.
Don't forget the romance.
And, of course, there's the tantalizing possibility of a second-chance romance.
Yes.
What more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? It's that combination that keeps readers coming back to Austen again and again.
Yeah.
Social satire, but real human drama.
It's like she's holding up a mirror to society, showing us all of our own little foibles and desires, but with a touch of grace and wit.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, speaking of desires.
What?
The angst in this novel.
I know.
Off the charts.
So good.
The longing glances, almost encounters the unspoken feelings.
It's killing me.
Austen really knew how to build romantic tension.
She's a master of subtlety.
Yeah.
The emotional depth in Persuasion isn't conveyed through these grand gestures or dramatic declarations.
Right.
It's all about the tiny details.
Okay.
Like a fleeting look, hesitant touch, a carefully chosen word.
Ooh, I see. Yeah.
Tiny details.
It's like she's letting us in on the character's secret thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
It makes that slow burn of the romance
I know.
even more intense.
The best.
But it's not all simmering glances and repressed emotions.
No.
There are moments of real drama.
Yeah.
Shipwrecks, illnesses, near-fatal accidents.
Right.
You're on the edge of your seat.
It makes you realize how fragile life is, and how important it is to just go for it. Like, seize the moment.
Take a chance.
Take a chance. Connect with people. Find happiness while you can.
Yeah, and it also shows how resilient people can be.
Exact.
Especially Anne.
And especially.
She faces so many challenges.
I know.
But she comes out stronger.
Every time.
And more self-assured.
More mature.
She's such a quiet, unassuming character. But she has this inner strength that I really admire.
Yes.
She's constantly being underestimated.
By everybody.
But she never gives up on herself.
She knows her worth.
Yeah. And it's like a beautiful arc of personal growth.
It is.
At the start of the novel, she's a little passive, heavily influenced by others.
Very much so.
But through her experiences, she learned to trust her own judgment.
Yes.
Make decisions that prioritize her own happiness.
I love that.
It's such a powerful message.
It is, especially for women.
Yeah.
Both in Austen's time and today, It
reminds us that we have the right to define our own happiness and pursue our own goals.
Regardless of what society says.
Even in the face of societal pressures.
Absolutely.
One of the sources we were looking at highlight Austen's insightful commentary on social class and mobility.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how much emphasis is placed on money and social standing back then.
It plays such a huge role in all the characters' lives.
Right. And it's crucial to remember that in Austen's era, social mobility was so limited, especially for women.
Especially for women.
Their financial security and social standing largely dependent on their marital choices.
Absolutely.
Which makes Anne's decision to break off her engagement with Wentworth years earlier even more poignant. She was basically choosing between love and a secure future.
Heartbreaking.
And then, of course, we have Wentworth, who goes from this poor naval officer to a wealthy captain.
Captain Wentworth.
It's like a classic Cinderella story.
Kind of.
But with a more nuanced exploration of the social implications. It's not just about rags to riches.
No.
It's about what wealth and status mean
right.
in a society obsessed with appearances.
Austen really challenges us to look beyond those superficial appearances and consider what a person is really worth.
So is Wentworth's character fundamentally altered by his newfound wealth?
Right.
Or does his true nature remain unchanged?
Is he still the same guy deep down? It's a question that kind of hangs over the whole novel.
It's striking how Austen manages to weave together all these complex themes.
I know.
Romance, social commentary, individual growth.
Right.
And creates this captivating, entertaining story.
Well, her genius is that she can take the most ordinary social interaction, like a dinner party or a walk in the park, and make it feel so significant.
Right.
She infuses these little moments with all this underlying tension and wit and emotional depth.
It's like she's revealing this hidden drama that exists within everyday life.
Exactly.
And let's be real.
Okay.
Some of that drama comes from the characters themselves.
Oh, sure.
Austen had such a knack for creating these flawed but lovable characters.
They're so real.
They feel so real.
Because they're not perfect heroes or villains. They're complex and contradictory, and often driven by, a mix of good and bad intentions.
Like Anne's sister Mary constantly complaining about something.
Bullying is
hilarious.
But also kind of represents that self-absorption that you see in some families and social circles.
Totally. And then there's Sir Walter Anne's father.
Oh, Fane.
Obsessed with his appearance and social standing.
All about appearances.
But even these unlikable characters,
yeah,
they're portrayed with a touch of empathy.
Austen never really condemns them outright.
Right.
She presents them with this mix of humor and understanding.
It's like she's inviting us to see their humanity.
Yeah.
Even while we're laughing at their flaws.
Exactly, and that's what makes her work so enduring. She can expose the flaws of society without becoming cynical.
Right.
There's always this hope for redemption and happiness.
Okay, speaking of happiness,
Yeah.
I'm dying to know
What?
if Anne and Wentworth finally get their second chance.
You want spoilers?
No spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers.
But could you give me a hint?
Let's just say that Austen delivers an ending that is both satisfying and thought-provoking.
Okay.
You'll have to read it to find out.
Okay, that's enough to keep me on the edge of my seat.
Good.
Before we dive into the final part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody, hit that subscribe button.
Please.
Leave us a review.
We love those.
If you're enjoying this exploration of persuasion,
Yes.
your feedback helps other book lovers find our little corner of the podcast world.
We appreciate it.
So grab another cuppa,
Yes.
settle back in,
comfy.
and get ready for the grand finale
Oh, yeah.
of our persuasion journey.
Here we go.
Okay, so we're back for the final chapter of our persuasion deep dive. We've explored the social landscape, dissected the characters, and felt all that simmering tension between Anne and Captain Wentworth.
Yes.
Now, the big question is, will they or won't they? Will they get their second chance at love?
Well, as we head into this final act of the novel, the stakes get even higher.
Yeah.
Anne and Wentworth keep getting thrown together at all these social gatherings.
Oh, gosh.
And their unresolved feelings are like bubbling under the surface of all these polite conversations.
It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck about to happen.
It is.
You just know something's got to give. And then we have all these other players in this whole game of love and society.
Right.
We've got the scheming cousins,
cousins.
eligible bachelors, all vying for Anne's attention.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, her delightfully dysfunctional
We
family.
hit the family.
Always adding fuel to the fire.
Always stirring the pot.
Austen really knows how to orchestrate these subplots. It creates this tapestry of human interactions.
A rich tapestry.
That just highlights how complex it is to navigate social circles.
And the consequences of every choice we make.
Yeah, both intended and unintended.
Right.
Like Austen took those classic romantic tropes, like mistaken identities, love triangles, near misses,
All the good stuff.
and infused them with psychological depth and social commentary.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's not just about who ends up with who.
Right.
It's about the journey of self-discovery and the challenges of finding your own voice in a world that's constantly trying to tell you what to do.
Especially for women at that time.
Especially for women back then.
Yeah.
And, speaking of finding your voice, one of the things that makes Persuasion so powerful
What's that?
is how Anne, despite being constantly judged and underestimated, learns to trust her own instincts,
Yes.
makes choices that prioritize her own happiness.
She takes control of her life.
It's so satisfying to watch that happen.
I know.
She starts out so quiet.
Almost invisible.
Yeah. Overshadowed by her family, weighed down by past regrets.
Yeah.
And then as the story unfolds,
She blossoms.
yeah, she emerges as this strong, resilient woman
Yes.
who refuses to be defined by others'
She
expectations.
defines herself.
And it really is a testament to the power of self-belief. And the importance of staying true to yourself even when everyone else is telling you to do something different.
You have to be true to yourself.
Now, I have to know,
What?
is the ending as explicitly romantic
Okay.
as, say, Pride and Prejudice?
Okay.
Because I love a grand gesture.
I know you do.
A happy ever after.
You want the fireworks?
I want the fireworks.
Okay, well, Persuasion is definitely a love story.
Okay.
But it's a more mature and introspective kind of romance. The real payoff comes from those subtle moments of connection.
Okay.
The unspoken understanding that passes between two people who have been through a lot together.
Like they've weathered the storm.
Exactly, and come out stronger on the other side.
I love that.
It's like a quiet satisfaction.
Yeah.
Knowing that their love has been tested.
By time and circumstance.
And that they've chosen each other.
And it's built on mutual respect.
Yes.
and that deep understanding of each other's flaws and strengths.
Exactly. And Austen conveys all of this so beautifully.
Again.
You know, her writing is deceptively simple, but underneath it all, there's a whole world of emotions and observations about human nature.
It's like she's giving us a glimpse into the secret language of the heart.
I love that.
You know, the unspoken yearnings and vulnerabilities that connect us all. So what would you say to someone who's maybe a little intimidated by Austen?
Yeah.
You know, they've heard she writes these dense period pieces.
Right.
What would you say to encourage them to give Persuasion a try?
I would say that even though the setting and social customs might seem really different from our lives today,
Yeah.
the emotional core of the story is still so relevant.
Right.
It's about second chances resilience, the struggles we all face in our families and social circles, and this universal search for love and belonging.
Yeah, and Austen tells it with such wit and insight that it transcends, you know, the boundaries of time and place.
Absolutely.
So for those who have already fallen in love with Austen,
Yeah.
what other books of hers would you recommend?
Well, if you want more of that classic Austen wit and social satire,
Okay.
you can't go wrong with Pride and Prejudice or Emma.
Classics.
Those are fan favorites for a reason.
Yeah, and for those who really enjoy Austen's exploration of moral dilemmas and the pressures of social expectations,
Right.
you might like Sense and Sensibility or Mansfield Park. Ooh, those are good ones too.
Yeah, they offer some really interesting insights into the human condition.
So many books, so little time.
I know.
I guess that means we need to plan another Austen deep dive soon.
Let's do it.
But for now,
Yeah.
this is the end of our Persuasion journey.
Aw,
And I hope you enjoyed it
me too.
as much as we did.
I hope it inspired you to either revisit Austen or discover her work for the first time.
And if you are eager for more literary adventures, be sure to subscribe to the Booktok podcast and leave us a review.
Yes, please do. That helps other bookworms find us.
And don't forget, you can find a link to get your own copy of Persuasion in the show notes.
Happy reading!
Happy reading, everyone, and we will catch you in the next episode.